This video might be touchy, not for the way that Brawl was, but for what it did for me as an individual. And so guys, I love Brawl. I love the game. I love everything about the game. I love what it did for me as a person and what it did for me as a player and how it got me into the Smash community. Brawl is, I'd say, the misunderstood game of the Smash series, and it always has this controversial atmosphere around it in regards to how it was treated, how players were treated that played it, things of that matter. But I'm not here to talk about the negatives. I'm here to talk about why I love Brawl. And the reason why I love Brawl is because it was a great game, and I feel like there's still so much more we don't know about the game, and I really wish that it survived past Smash 4 and could coexist with Smash 4. And in reality, I actually think Brawl can coexist with Smash 4 because a lot of Smash 4 vets are Brawl lovers, Brawl enthusiasts, Brawl players. You know, that was our game, and we kind of just move on to the next thing. And I think that's the thing with Brawl players. Whatever is new, we're gonna end up moving on and playing that game as well. But we should bring Brawl back, you know? We have a lot of new players in Smash 4 that don't really know anything about Brawl or Brawl's history or where we came from, and it would be really nice for them to get to know us on that level before we became the people and players that we are in the Smash 4 scene. But the thing about Brawl that I love the most is just the mechanics. And so in Brawl, we don't have hit stun, really. So combos were a lot more, I'd say, creative in that game, in a sense as to where combos were more situational, things were more created on the fly. Things weren't fed to you, let's just put it that way. And that's not a bad thing, because in Smash 4, we do have our kill confirms. In Melee, you have your kill confirms and your guaranteed combos and stuff like that. And that's something that deterred people away from Brawl, but is also something that made people love Brawl. In Brawl, we had Meta Knight and Ice Climbers, guys. And as you know, those characters were crazy broken. And as a community, you know, we kind of crafted our game around learning how to deal with those characters regardless of how broken they were, how much we complained about it. There were no balance patches in Brawl, which is also something I actually do like about Brawl, as silly as that sounds. But we dedicated our time and focus into learning how to defeat those characters, given the tools and given which characters that could possibly do it, and we overcame those barriers where we had those crazy characters, but we had to learn the matchup and adapt. Whereas in Smash 4 right now, we're kind of being spoiled by patches and nerfs, things like that, which I talked about in another video. You guys could see that, where I say don't rely on nerfs. That's coming from my Brawl mindset, where we didn't have those things to rely on to fix our issues, and we just had to get better, play through them. And if we weren't playing those characters, we were just at a disadvantage, and that's just the way it was. But Brawl, as I said, is a misunderstood game. And while I do love it, I do understand the qualms that people did have with it. I'll never back away and say that, oh, you know, Ice Climbers, they're very fair. Great character, right? I love Ice Climbers, don't get me wrong, but I do know their issues. Same thing with Meta Knight. But Brawl was a beautiful game at top level, because at top level, whether the game was campy or the game was aggressive, you saw a level of play that you just weren't able to see at the other levels of, you know, Brawl competitive play. And so if you ever saw a Snake versus Falco matchup, you saw the intense thinking that had to go through Brawl matches, where a game where chain grabs were not only designed, well, in the Ice Climbers design, but Falco had them, Marth had them, Pikachu had them. You know, certain characters had certain grabs on certain other characters, and so that added a new layer of depth into certain matchups, and where you had to be a lot more safer and cautious of what you do, because you don't want to risk losing a stock or taking a ton of damage from that specific character that you're fighting. So players like Ally, a Snake, a character that really got chain grabbed by a lot of people, he really had to plant his mines correctly, or have a mine here or a C4 here, have a grenade out, buffer a grenade while getting grabbed. It's just, that was cool. And then seeing some of the traps that you can do, not only with Snake, rest in peace Snake, I want him back in Smash 4, but other characters as well, is great. Fox had triple lasers. Me being a Fox player in Brawl 2, I miss that. That's gone in Smash 4. A lot's gone in Smash 4 that Brawl has exclusively, and that's why I feel like while the two games are the closest to each other in terms of the Smash, you know, history lineup, they're both still different. and they should still coexist. And the main reason, I think the most important reason why I love Brawl so much is because I was able to meet the community, I was able to meet my crew, I was able to become a top player at Brawl, I was able to do so many things with Brawl and learn so much about myself and learn mentally what it took to become a really strong player through that game. And I transitioned that into Smash 4, and I couldn't have done any of this or anything without Brawl. Brawl was my gateway into a new life, and I will always respect that game for that. And so guys, the hive mind mindset is to hate on Brawl, but most people that hate on Brawl have not tried it. And so I'm asking you guys, if you see Brawl at GameStop or if you see Brawl anywhere, if a friend has it, go ahead, pop it in, try it for 30 minutes, see if you like it or not. Or if you don't have the means to try it, go ahead and watch some videos of your favorite players now, and I guarantee you'll probably be able to find them on YouTube playing Brawl sets. And shout outs to Brawl Doubles. I still think Brawl Doubles is the best doubles of all time, period. But that's my personal opinion. But guys, I love Brawl. Brawl made me. So look at a piece of your favorite player's history and see just where it led up into their current game now, Smash 4. Take it easy, guys.